Today we are doing something absolutely new. From the looks of it, it is the quilt pattern of all quilt patterns. It looks absolutely insanely hard to do. But the theory of it makes it sound kind of easy. I have no idea. We'll just have to find out. Let's go. This is an awesome quilt pattern made with simple strips so you can use your leftover fabric or get yourself a jelly roll, whatever works best for you. And by the time we're done, if this works, we will all be in awe. There's really no other word for it. It is simply awesome. I'm not overselling this one, guys. This is the real deal. We are making a Bargello quilt pattern. And if you've ever seen a Bargello quilt or Googled a Bargello quilt, you're thinking, she's crazy. This is hard. This is expert level. But guess what? All it takes is some organizing and being able to cut fabric and sew straight lines. That is it. I've got my strips right here and they're all 2 by 30 inches. Now, if you're using a jelly roll, no need to cut it, okay? Just use the full width. I am going to need 15 strips. I'm not even sure I can call this a pattern because I am not following any sort of template. I'm just going with the flow on this one. I'm creating the pattern I have in my mind. It is that simple. This really is the cleverest pattern I have ever seen and the most stunning one too. Now that we have our 15 strips, we need to organize them in a sequence, okay? If you're doing an ombre like I'm doing, you are going to need a sequence. You need your paint that goes from darker to lighter, the transition to be as seamless as it possibly can. But if I'm honest, the Bargello effect, let's call it that, works with any color really. The ombre effect really is just an added bonus to the wavy feel of it because I'm not making a full-sized quilt and I only have 15 strips to make the effect I'm looking for here. So don't feel obligated to do an ombre, okay? Use whatever colors you want and you can mix your fabrics within the same colors. That won't be a problem either. It will still look very, very awesome. For those of you who have never heard of the Bargello quilt pattern, I guess the best way to explain it is to say we are making a quilt pattern that looks like it's moving, okay? An optical illusion of waves that ebb and flow. It's quite hypnotizing, let me tell you. We're not making a full quilt today, okay? We're making something a little smaller, but don't worry, you will still be able to see the full effect. Guys, I love to be surrounded by colorful fabrics, so this project is right up my alley. This is such happy colors, such colorful project. I'm so happy. And now it's time to press them nice and flat. And that's it, guys. Our Bargello quilt pattern is done and I will see you soon. No, stop it. Don't leave. I'm just kidding. We are just getting started. The next step for us is folding this in half and sewing it into a tube. You want to make sure it's nice and flat on your table. Correct anything that's out of place because the cutting part really is the most important. And now we cut. You'll want to fold this as many times as required to get a nice clean cut. Let's start by trimming off the end. We need a clean end to start cutting our strips. First strip we cut is 1.5 inches. Second is 1 3/4. Third is 2 inches. Fourth is 2 1/4. Fifth is 2 1/2. Sixth is 2 3/4. And seventh is 3 inches. Now, a very important thing is to write the number of the strips so you don't mix these strips up, or if they fall or something, you will always know the sequence. So 3 inches is our biggest piece. From there, we start to go back. So the 8th is 2 3/4, 9th, 2 1/2, 10th, 2 inches, and so on. 1 3/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4 again. And that's all our cutting done. Hardest part is over. Remember, guys, we are making a very soft wave here. None of those very complicated Bargello patterns. And if you take a closer look at Bargello quilts, you will realize that's all that's needed for that movement effect. The colors of the fabrics you use and the size of the pieces you use. Let's go ahead and make our sequence. This is our first piece, right? Let's leave it as is and rip the seam. And this is what you get. The second one, we're just going to go down a piece and rip the seams at that. For the third, we move down 2 pieces and rip, and that's what we'll do until we run out of pieces. If we wanted to do like a chevron pattern or a zigzag or whatever you want to call it, we could at any moment just reverse the sequence, like we could start going up again from the middle, for example, you know, whatever you want. And maybe I'll do that for a future video, but for now I am keeping it simple, guys. This is my first Bargello quilt pattern too, after all. Guys, I'm split. I know I said I was just going to do a soft wave and be done, and in which case we would just continue to do the pattern as I have been doing it, you know, going down. But looking at it right now, a C curve would be so perfect. So I think I'm going to do that, okay? So let's go back. I'm not doing a wave, I'm doing a C. And all I need to do that is, instead of keep going down in the sequence, I'm just going to go back, okay? Let me show you. If we were to continue the series, we would now open in the purple. But because we want to turn it around, instead of this, we are going to open it there, okay? We're going to go back to this one as being our first and go back all the way to the sequence we've just made, okay? We are going in reverse. Guys, just look at what we're making here. Look at this magic. There really is no other word for it, because it is so simple and it's absolutely stunning. And I can see right here, gosh, you know, part of me wishes I could go on, and a part of me knows I will go on and I will make loads and loads of Bargello quilts. In fact, you know what? I have a challenge for you. Join me on the So Easy by Sandy Patreon community and let's make a Bargello quilt, a proper one, okay? We'll get a jelly roll, the same for all of us, and we'll just make a whole quilt. Still pretty easy, beginner level, but you know, with a bigger pattern and just a bigger quilt altogether. What do you say? Are you up for it? Let's do this. Guys, just look at this. Is this not the cutest thing we've ever done? I know I keep saying this every week, but every week we're just upping the ante. We're doing more wonderful, awesome, mind-blowing things. You can definitely see that if we repeated this whole pattern for this side, it would be a cross, and that would look really, really awesome. But you know, for a first time to show you how this works, I think this is perfect. I cannot wait to do this again. I am very excited. I hope you are too, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.